Hi everybody, this is Leah from FlyTrap Store. You see my array of plants here. We're going to answer the question, is it dormant or is it sick? Does it need help? So this back line here of plants, they're dormant and they look typical for a dormant plant. So I'll go through them. You'll see with a dormant plant that see these taller traps and these larger traps. They have already died back, but look at the new growth in the middle. Looks great. New baby traps looking good. And you see this trap over here. Let me find it. The way that it has sort of deteriorated is somewhat uniformly. You see it's yellow, black. The edge of the trap has blackened, and that's just going to turn black like this eventually, and then just crumbly like this eventually. And you will optimally want to, when they get crumbly, remove those so they can still get some good light. But this is normal. This is a normal looking dormant plant. And you can see next to this we have another one that's normal. And what I wanted to show you is that this trap is just starting to die off, and it's just perfectly normal. You can see the little change on the edges of it, how it's blackening a little bit, but the whole plant is looking really good. And that one's recently repotted, and that's one reason it looks so good. Interestingly, when you repot a dormant plant, it kind of comes back a little bit, grows back a little bit. They just love being repotted. Here's another normal one. You see here it has buried itself down in the soil a little bit. They do that during dormancy. You see the blackened traps that will eventually get crispy like that. The new growth looks really good. Got 2 new baby traps coming out and they look fantastic. Okay, here's another example. You see the black and yellow, and this trap here is on its way out as well. New good growth there. It's growing in a little more of a rosette than a extended pattern, which it would do during the non-dormant season. Here's another example, and this one we've got a couple. We've got 1, 2, 3 that are on their way out. There's 1, 2, 3, but you see how it's kind of uniform, yellow, black. The middle is doing great. New growth will continue to come out during dormancy. It just won't typically grow out to be really long. And here's a red one. This is a maroon monster. I thought this was helpful to show you a red one because they do look a little different. The traps that are dying for dormancy turn like not so much yellow, but just like a dark red. See that? And then just black. But see all that new growth? It looks really good. That's actually a huge plant when in the non-dormant season. I can tell just by looking at it. Here's a great looking Kronos that has almost all of its traps that are going to go dormant have gone. And so we're left with this rosetted plant. And gosh, the fact that it's this big right now during dormancy means that that's a monster when it's not dormant. But that looks just fantastic. I think maybe one more. I think maybe that one might go and decide to recede for dormancy. But we still have all that great new growth. It looks really good. Okay, here's another example. And we have you see the taller traps are receding. They're going yellow and black. You see that there. New growth. And we would want to remove these guys here because they're blocking the new baby traps right now. So that's hard to do when I have the phone behind me, but I'll try and take some of that. There you go. Now you see the baby traps. That looks great. Got an older trap going there now that does have a little pink on it, but that's still normal. And then the last normal one, wanted to show you this one because we have the trap that has some pink, some black, some yellow. But it's still looking good. The new growth is good. You can see the taller stuff is dying off. Looking great. So I want to contrast that. Now these guys had mites at one point, and they are now recovered, but their older traps still have that mite damage. And you'll notice that it's different. It's mottled. It's pinker, almost rust. You see that? It's like rusty and mottled and pink. And you have some normal dormant traps right in front here, the yellow and black ones. But that pink mottling thing, you know, when fly traps get mites, it almost looks like someone's held a lighter up to them and kind of singed them and turned them like a little bit red. And so that's what we're looking at there. But these have been treated, so you'll see the new growth is looking great, and it should not have that coloration on it anymore. Okay, so moving over here, this is not a healthy dormant plant like these guys. This guy has been overcome by carpet moss, and it's eating the plant. So this one's still doing okay, but you can see it's going dormant normally. This one, there should be more than one trap to that second plant there. That's not normal. We need to repot that. The moss is eating the plant, and if we don't fix it soon, it's going to disappear. It will be gone. This one is not good. This guy is rotting. You should never just have one trap barely coming out of the soil. I mean, he is very unhappy, and that needs to be repotted. I don't know what is going on there. He may have been too wet for too long, but there is a new baby trap coming out, so that means it is savable. You see that? I will be saving that right after this video. Don't you worry. Just repotting it in fresh growing medium. Okay, here's another example. Again, the carpet moss is really taking over that second plant, the smaller plant. And it will eat it up if I don't get rid of it. But you know, you could see the normal dormancy behavior for the plant next to it. Okay, here we have two more. Here's one that is also, you can see, rotting. I mean, look at this plant right here. There's the only trap that's coming out of the ground. It does not look good, and you should always have more than one coming out of the ground, I mean, or of the soil. Usually 4 or 5, normal 6, not one. So something's wrong there. That is going to need to be repotted. And actually, if I put my finger there, there's a pretty big indentation, which means that the rhizome has rotted out a little bit. So that will need, I actually don't know if I can save that one, but the two next to it I can. So that's, we'll see. Maybe I'll follow up and tell you if I was able to save him. Okay. Now here's another one. Actually, this plant is fine, but I wanted to show you this plant because what happened is it was recently repotted and it got a little bit of sunburn. That's what happens when they were maybe buried underneath the soil more than they should have been for a while. So the new growth gets that nice pink coloration just right at the base there because it's new to sun. And so that is perfectly normal. This plant is okay. You see that yellow piece there? That's just a trap that has gone dormant, and the petiole that has gone dormant. So that's fine. That's a good one. So there's the difference. Here's your healthy, normal dormancy. Okay. And then here is a normal one, recovered from probably mite damage. Carpet moss, bad news. Rotting, bad news. Carpet moss and possibly rotting. And then we have back over here, normal, slightly sunburned. Gonna be great though. Okay, well, I hope that helped. And I hope you guys have a great winter time with your fly traps. Remember that it's the changing length of the days, the shortening of the days that puts them into dormancy primarily. So if you wanted to, you could put them in a kitchen window as long as they've got a lot of sunlight. Just never keep them very damp and in low light. They will die. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.